Welcome back to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. I'm your host, Michael Andrews, and today we're thrilled to shine our artist spotlight on the incredible talent of Antoine Knight. Hailing from a background rich in musical inspiration, Antoine's journey has taken him from sharing the stage with jazz icons like Gerald Albright, Althea Renee, Boney James, and countless others around the globe. From the Motown sounds of Junior Walker and the All-Stars to jazz giants like John Coltrane and Cannonball Adderley, Antoine's influences have shaped his skill as an exciting saxophonist. He's also a distinguished military graduate, yes, and a retired major in the U.S. Army. Antoine's dedication to his craft is both evident on and off the stage. His exciting performances have graced prestigious events like the Atlanta Jazz Festival and VIP performances for the NFL Atlanta Falcons. Today, we're diving into his music and passion of Antoine Knight, of course, a true musician whose musical journey is as captivating as it is inspiring. And later in the show, we'll be featuring his latest single, Step to Me, Baby. So stay tuned, just sit back and relax and enjoy Antoine Knight right here on Sacramento Smooth Jazz. Antoine, how are you today, man? What's going on?
Hey, I'm doing great. After that intro, oh my God, I didn't realize I did all that.
Hey, man, that's you. That's all you. That's all you, man. That's all you. You know what I mean? I'm impressed.
Yeah.
John Coltrane, Cannonball Adderley, you got some influences, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
you.
Retired major in the Army. I mean, you got some history here, and got some great music. Last time you were on the show, we were talking about your other track, you know, Drive on 285. And some friends of mine out there in Atlanta were telling me about 285. So,
oh, right, okay.
Even sending me video of the drive on 285. I'm like, that's not a drive, that's a parking lot. That's a parking lot. What are you talking about?
It's the parking lot, exactly.
So, yeah, the traffic, it makes traffic in California look mild in comparison. But it's good to have you back.
Thanks for having me back.
Oh, man, most deserving indeed. And after, you know, hearing your latest track, I'm really excited about it. Step to Me, Baby is something that folks can step to on that dance floor for sure. Well, let's get started, man. So I can see you've been busy since the last time we've had a conversation here on the show. You've been you're constantly going, man. Yeah. So besides the song, anything else going on with you? You know, I mean, you're doing something here.
No, you know, everything's been going great. After the song had been released, I've been getting some, great reviews. Mm-hmm. And people like it, dig it. It's Step to Me, Baby. It's like in the South and on the East Coast, stepping is kind of popular.
Yeah.
And it's just like a smooth jazz step type of vibe that I try to create to where people can dance.
Now, when you're creating a new song, that whole creative process, that composing, how do you begin the composition of a song? What's your creative process when you're thinking about some things? You're just taking a long walk somewhere and things come to you? What do you do?
It just comes to me. It can come to me while I'm driving. It can come to me when I'm asleep. It can come to me when I'm waking up. It's just the weirdest times and the oddest times. Ideas are like that. You know, people think that as a musician, I'm going to pick up my horn and I'm about to paint this creation, musically. For me, it just doesn't happen that way. Mm-hmm. And it's very strange and bizarre, but that is just something that you can never predict. I can't predict, when I get a creative idea or something. Mm-hmm. I really can't.
Now, for those who don't know, why the saxophone? How did that begin?
Well, I remember when I was a little boy and my auntie, she passed away about 10 years ago. She used to put on this 8-track. Now I'm telling on myself. Oh my God, I don't know why I'm saying
8-track. But these young folks, these young folks going, what's the 8? Yeah, we'll explain that later. We'll explain that later.
but anyway, I should have said 8-track. I hope you delete this part, by the way.
No, we're keeping it. We're keeping it.
You keeping it?
We're keeping it.
Okay. Well, my auntie had an artist by the name of Junior Walker and All-Stars.
Okay.
And that song called Shotgun really got my attention of the sound of the sax. And it was my first time where I actually heard the front man and the lead man actually play saxophone, which I thought was cool because usually you don't see that in that type of genre of music. Another reason why I chose the saxophone, because when you hold the instrument, it's nothing but brass and metal. And when you blow into it, it actually becomes a spirit. Yeah, it could become a spirit. And it's almost like what God did for man. He blew into him and he became a spirit. And that's what I am fascinated by playing the saxophone, because when it's laying there on the stand, it's just metal and brass. But when you pick it up and you blow into it, it's not metal and brass no more. It's a spirit. And it actually could talk to you. But you got to have that connection with music and really understand and embrace the language to really comprehend what I'm really saying.
You become one. You become one with it.
Correct.
Huh? Got it.
Correct.
That's probably a lesson for our younger folks who getting into music. They can't just expect overnight success or expect something, instantaneously. This is something that they have to really be a part of and really understand that you're creating.
Right. And let me elaborate on that. If you got young listeners, I mean, a lot of times people say that, do you read music? Do you do this? Do you do that? And yeah, of course I can. But the way to really grow and develop your talent and craft, you got to spend hours and hours and hours of listening. You got to listen. It's like you speaking, Michael, the English language. You didn't learn how to speak the English language by reading a book.
Right.
You learn by listening to your mother and father. And from that, you develop a vocabulary. It's no different in music. You got to listen. I mean, knowing theory is very important. But in order to articulate those theories, you got to listen. And sometimes for most musicians, that's the hardest thing to do, because you want to do it this way. But, you really got to dig deep and just really listen to what an instrument is really saying.
That's great advice for our aspiring musicians, our younger folks, just getting started in the industry, or, you've been around for a little while. That's probably some good information for those who've been in for a while, too.
Yeah, because somebody asked, a musician pulled a post up, and he said, what is more important, practicing or rehearsing? And I said, the most important thing is listening, because if you listen wrong, you're going to practice wrong. And when you practice wrong, you're going to rehearse wrong. And when you rehearse wrong, of course, you're going to play wrongly on the show. So the most important thing is listening, because when you're practicing, that means that you're learning the song. When you're rehearsing, you are going over how you're going to play it when you actually go on the stage. But it all starts from you listening. If you listen wrong, everything else is not going to really matter. It's going to off-kilter things, and the whole thing is going to be wrong if you don't start out listening.
So listening and understanding that you are in the creative process. Nice.
It is. And I'm going to tell you that the listening to me is the most difficult. And even sometimes I hear things and listen to things wrong. And then when I go back over it, oh my God, they're not playing an A flat there. That's actually a B. It goes up to the C, then down to the F. I was playing it this way. It's how you listen, and you really have to scrutinize every note and how you play it. And when you listen to the note, you got to listen to how the note was played, not just the note itself. So it's really can be kind of deep for a lot of people to really comprehend. But yeah, listening to me is the most important, and it's the most difficult for me as a musician.
This is turning out to a little workshop here for those who need to understand.
I didn't mean that.
I love it. No, I love it. This is good. I like this exchange.
Okay.
But let's
got it, man.
I love it. Now, let's do this. When it comes to incorporating elements, how do you incorporate different elements into the various genres that you understand? How do you bring different sounds into your creative process since you're listening?
Well, it's like building a building, or should I say building a house. For me, my approach is no different. You have to start out with the base, okay? Base is the foundation. Even when you build a house or a tall building or atmosphere, you cannot build anything without the base, because without the base, the building is not going to stand. Well, guess what? In music, it's not going to stand without the base. So when I incorporate a sound, I have to incorporate the bass that is conducive to the idea that I'm trying to do. And in music, especially in smooth jazz, now Dennis Johnson, he brought this home for me. I don't know, Dennis Johnson is the producer for Reagan Whiteside. That's her husband.
Right.
He's my audio engineer. He told me, he said, hooks of the song is probably 90% of the idea that you're trying to sell when it comes to a creative idea. So for me, it has to start with the foundation of the bass. And from the foundation of the bass has to support the hook that I'm trying to implement as far as the idea. Mm-hmm. And those are the two things that I start out with. And everything else, you have your verse, and then you have your bridge, and then you have what they call in music the vamp. So those are the basic ingredients, when it comes to music in a contemporary setting. Mm-hmm. The hook is really what's going to catch you. You got to have a catchy bass, and then you got to have a very nice bridge. And from it, some songs is the vamp. I don't have a vamp in Step To Me Baby, but Adam Hawley, matter of fact, I just talked to him today, and he said, look, man, of the song that you and I did, he said he liked the bridge better. He said that's the best part of the song he liked me play on was the bridge. So you have those things, and that's the ingredients. To make the long story short, that's the ingredients of what I do when I put everything together.
Nice. Now, let's take it to another level. When it comes to behind the scenes, can you share a behind the scenes glimpse into your process for preparing for a live audience, a live performance?
Yeah. Your questions are very easy. Okay. I like this. Look, this is what I do. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. A lady revealed to me my personality. She said, Antoine, you have two personalities. And I said, what do you mean? Right. Like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Right.
And she said, theoretically, yes. She said, right now, by us talking, you're Antoine. You this Antoine guy, you laid back. But when it's time for showtime, your demeanor changes. And I realized it does change to where, no, I'm not Antoine anymore. I'm Antoine Knight.
Yeah.
Antoine Knight is someone that is totally different than Antoine. So when I'm Antoine Knight, what I do is when I'm getting on the stage or when I'm about to get on the stage, I automatically do a video playback of what I'm going to do. It's like when I get on the stage, I'm going to check out and see who's checking me out. If this woman look at me, hey, that's going to be my talking point. I'm going to move to the right. I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to move to the left. I'm going to do this with the band. Everything is videoed in my mind.
Right.
Before I even do it. That's why when I'm actually doing it, it seemed like God has just really given me a playback of what I thought or what I've been thinking, how I'm going to execute on the show.
Nice. Now, with the latest track, Step To Me Baby, is this a prelude of a project that you're working on? Or are you just working on a single for right now? What's going on?
Actually, we're going to jump the gun. We're going to make a combined from the Nation CD of all the singles. And it's going to be all on one CD track.
Nice.
Like the best of Antoine Knight.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, it's going to have Something About You with Gail Johnson. It's going to have Infatuation with JJ San Severino.
Yes.
The two projects with Adam Hawley, The Drive on 285 and Step To Me Baby. It's going to be all in one package. And that is something that I'm working on later on in this year. And also, I was surprised that he said yes, but I got to work on a track with Gerald Albright.
Nice.
And I was with him in California. I was down in Anaheim a few weeks back, about a month ago. And we talked, and he said, hey, send me the track, and I got you.
Nice.
So this got to be done. So Dennis Johnson, once again, which is Reagan's husband, is going to produce this thing. And I may have a keyboard player that may be featured on it. My spirit is barking on Gino Rosario. I don't know if you heard of Gino Rosario.
Oh, yeah.
But Gino is from my hometown in Florida.
Okay.
And it's something that I had been talking that I wanted to do with him for years. And I think this would be the opportunity now. Like I say, it's not etched in stone, but this is an idea that I'm trying to do.
Okay. Now, before we get into your latest track, how can folks get in touch with you? Our listeners want to connect with you. How can they do that? Social media, websites?
Well, they can do that. So, of course, social media.
Right.
You know what? Sometimes I really test my name in Google.
Okay.
And I wonder, I said, I wonder what comes up when I put my name into Google. So if you're not on the social media platforms, you can put my name in Google and my information will come up all in Google. Or you can go on the website at www.AntoineKnightmusic.com. Those are, the platforms. And of course, Facebook and all of those places, I'm trying to get the hang of the TikTok thing. I'm not quite there yet.
Right. I understand that.
I'm getting there.
I understand.
Getting there with the TikTok.
Now, going back to your Google comment, you're right. I just typed it in and I see your name pop up, Antoine Knight, musical artist. It pops up right here. So you're real easy to find. You're not hard to find. And so this is great. Now, getting into Step to Me, Baby, your latest track, what was the process in this whole creation? How did this come to be?
Well, let me tell you something. Other than my mom, my family really don't listen to my music. They're just not their thing. And my daughter, Kiki, she's a flight attendant, and she said that, Dad, I like music that I can dance to. So when she said that, okay, I said, well, this is going to be a challenge. You challenge me to do a song that when you hear it, you want to dance to it. And that was the statement that I tried to make or have made in doing the process of Step to Me, Baby. And my mother, she likes to step. She likes to swing, and she likes to dance to that kind of music. So that's why I call it Step to Me, Baby. Step to Me, Baby is really my mom. Got
it. Okay.
Step to Me, Baby is really my mom.
Nice. Okay. And anybody on the track that we should know about?
Oh my gosh, man. You talking to, it's an all-star cast on this. It's like I'm the little peon, but they play for me. You got your biggest bass fan, Mel Brown, on bass.
Come on.
Right. Is like ridiculous. He's with everybody from Dave Koz to you name it. It's just a whole laundry list of people he do. Mm-hmm. Renowned drummer, Eric Valentine's on drums, who I'm very honored. I have not met him yet, but I heard many great things about him. And of course, on keys and guitar, and 15 number one smooth jazz Billboard hits, Adam Hawley. Well, Dr. Hawley. I joke with him and call him Dr. Hawley because he has a doctorate in music and he teaches at USC. California.
Yeah, you don't talk about that too much. You're right.
No, he doesn't. He's very humble and man, this and that and other. You know how he talks. He's just so California laid back.
He's real laid back. Yep.
He's laid back, and I can't believe I'm talking to this guy like this. He's just so laid back and so humble.
Yeah.
But that was the all-star cast, and it's like, man, I was very honored to be with such talented musicians.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you get to hear it right now on Sacramento Smooth Jazz. Here's Step to Me, Baby by Antoine Knight. Antoine, thank you for hanging out with us today. I appreciate you being on the air with me again.
Hey, thank you, man. And I want to come out there so we can get offline and we can talk about Sacramento. I really would like to come out there, man, and make it happen.
Oh, let's definitely make that happen.
for listening to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. To continue listening to Smooth Jazz 24/7, follow Sac Smooth Jazz on social media and listen by going to sacsmoothjazz.fm.